Welcome to Supremacy TV. I am Praise Duro, and we're currently at the Fcta office to have a one-on-one interview with the Permanent Secretary of Fcta in the person of Sir Olusade Adesola, who will be retiring very soon. He will be telling us his journey so far while in office and many other things that the public definitely need to know. Please do well to stay with us for more.
Yes, I am Adesola Olusade, OON, born to the family of late Pa Ruben Adesola. I was born in 1964 on March 18, and following gradual growth, I had my primary education at the local government authority primary school in the Lekwa Ikare Akoko. Upon completion of this, I attended my secondary education at the Akko Anglican Grammar School, Arigidi, Akoko. I also had a brief stay at the Ondo State College of Art and Science, also in Ikare, before I proceeded for my university education in Agric Economics at the University of Ibadan. While there, I studied Agric Economics, and I graduated in 1987, July. I had my NYSC at the the defunct Nigeria Cultural and Cooperative Bank, Kaduna. The headquarters in Kaduna. Working over the years there. At one time in 1999, I moved to the Family Economic Advancement Program, FIP, under the military administration of late General Abacha. At the demise of the head of state, the program mutated to National Poverty Alleviation Program, NAPEP, in 1999. And it went through into democracy before it was worn down. And in 2001, we were all migrated to the civil service. That's how I came to join the Federal Civil Service and rose progressively from level 13, 14, 15. And to the glory of God, I got to the apogee of my career in 2017 when I became Permanent Secretary. And by the grace of God, we also be exiting the service on 29th January 2024 after a total service years of 35. That is the man, Adesola Olusade. Yes, I've been privileged to serve almost 6 years now, close to that. I've been privileged to serve I started my permanent secretary career in the former Federal Ministry of Youth and Sports Development. That was under the Buhari administration, the first tenure. By 2018, by 2019, I moved to the Ministry of Niger Delta Affairs. I served about 1 year there, and I moved to the Federal Capital Territory Administration in September 2020. And I remain here till this moment, and to the glory of God, we'll be exiting from this citadel. Those ones are ministries, are mainstream ministries. But in FCT, all of them are present in FCT. For instance, the Niger Delta is concerned with infrastructure development of the Niger Delta areas. So in FCT, generally, we are concerned with the administration of the territory. not just the infrastructural development. For instance, in FCT, we have Fcda, Federal Capital Development Authority, that is concerned with infrastructural development. So you can see that it's just like the Niger Delta or the FCT, or the Ministry of Niger Delta area, the core ministry. We have Ministry of Youth and Sports Development. The equivalent in FCT is the Social Development Secretariat. The Social Development Secretariat coordinates the affairs of women, until recently the affairs of women, children, gender matters, sports development, and all whatnot. So when you talk of Ministry of Youth and Sport, they are all embedded in the FCT. So it's a bigger responsibility, a bigger schedule that is coordinated by the Permanent Secretary. The beauty of FCT administration is that it's the Federal Capital Territory. So responsibility for maintaining security here is not that of FCT alone. All the security agencies have their headquarters here. So they are primarily concerned with securing the territory. However, as the administration of the territory, we have done much to support the territory, to support security services in the territory. For instance, all the security agencies have provided one form of support or the other. In 2022, under the immediate past administration, we provided 55 vehicles and assorted equipment to security agencies, including walkie-talkies, armored protective equipment, and even the tear gas. So the purpose is to ensure that they have this basic equipment. They have to be safe to be able to protect us. That's why we have to provide them with the body armors. Number two, it is not all crime situations they need to go with the gun. Going with tear gas may even solve some problems. So we provided them some of this. And the current administration of FCT saw what had been done and the impact then, and even resolved to do more. Currently, we are providing another batch of 50 vehicles to the security agency in FCT, in addition to other array of security equipment. So we'll continue to do that in addition to moral support. Because you see, from time to time, we hold meetings with them to know the gaps, area of deficiencies they have, and we provide what we can do to support them. Because, for instance, without mobility, without being able to move, you report a crime, no fuel in their vehicle, they cannot support you. But we provide monthly support to ensure that they have, they're able to meet some of their basic needs to be able to protect this. So, generally, what is the cause of the insecurity in FCT? Why is it looking as if it's apparently increasing? When you compare to others and when you compare with where we're coming from, you will have that feeling that it's quite high, but it's not significantly high, but we don't expect it to. Besides, you will agree with me that FCT appears to be the safest city territory in Nigeria. And you see influx of people, the good, the bad, the ugly, the worst, all of them come to FCT. Let me give you an instance. Through the Social Development Secretariat, we make sure that we evacuate from the road and take care of them, destitute, beggars. And some of these people are not really beggars. They are not destitute as they made you to believe. Because for a destitute that is even keeping euro, keeping pounds, keeping dollars, may not really be destitute. But a number of times we have repatriated them. I remember this experience of one of my colleagues who repatriated a batch of these destitute. We repatriated them, and when we were repatriating the second batch, then we used the rail to repatriate them. Getting to the rail station, he met some of the people that he repatriated coming back. So that's how serious it is. And why so? People in the territory are more generous than other places because there's more affluence here. Even beggars benefit from it. And in the process, those that are non-beggars equally come in to pillage. So it's a lot of challenges, and it's a hydra-headed problem, but we are trying to tackle it one after the other. Oh, sure. They have been very, very supportive. Yes, they have been very, very supportive. We have regular meetings with them. And at that meeting, security issues is paramount. This is discussed. And we also provide support for them to be able to report, disclose, and make contact with relevant security agencies. Or even there's a whole department, a mandate secretariat in FCT, that addresses the affairs of the traditional rulers to ensure that they can contribute their quota to security and development of the territory. Yes, I would like to refer to the Constitutional Conference of 1956 in this regard. At that Constitutional Conference, I delved into as we were approaching independence, the Constitutional Conference was held in London. And one of the concerns was the fear of the minority. So a committee with the Willings Commission was constituted, and it was given the term of reference to review the fears of the minorities and provide solutions, and if no others, to consider creating more states as we were entering post-independent Nigeria. In the course of his study, the commission submitted, the creation of more states may not solve the problem of the minorities, because when a state is created, those that were not new sets of minorities will emerge. So anywhere you go, there will always be problem of indigenous community. But the critical issue is the need to ensure fairness in what you do. And I think this has been a principal concern. But we must situate this within the context of the Federal Capital Territory itself. This Federal Capital Territory was conceived as a home for all. At the conception, the first effort was to see that the entire community, the entire territory, is devoid of any inhabitants. And that is why, at the early part, the inhabitants were asked to choose where they want to move to. Those in Karu, they moved to Niger State, Nasarawa State, as New Karu. You have New Yanya, because they were moving to those areas. However, as at that time, the cost of relocating, compensating and relocating everybody was beyond the reach of the federal government. Accordingly, the concept now changed from total relocation to that of integration. So what we currently have and which we are focusing on is more of integrating the existing communities into the developmental plan of the FCT. So as far as we are concerned, the problems we'll continue to discuss, engage, converse, and address the problems as the city is growing. Is it even at home front, as small as the home is, the family is, there could be so much difficulty in managing, not to talk of managing a whole entity as the Federal Capital Territory. By way of information, the staff strength of the FCT is in excess of 33,000. And that means you have to constantly think, how do we provide for this? How do we ensure that they are comfortable? And in the process, how do we address the career need of staff? And it is not just one set of people. You have the very excellent and super brilliant ones. You have those that do not even know what they are doing. And you have those that some people are just there to make trouble. Yes, you have all sorts of persons comprising the staff strength. So you have the task to address it. But I will always like to refer to the expression made by my former boss, Malam Muhammad Musa Bello. He always said, government business is the easiest because they are guided by rules and regulations. So if you follow the rules and regulations, it will be easy. This is where the problem is. Some may not want to follow the rules and regulations. Some do not even know the rules and regulations. So when you bring out the rules and regulations, what is this person trying to do? So it is all this often come to play. But by and large, we have tried to impact on the people to the extent we feel, guided by the rules and regulations of the. What we also try to do is to reduce the bulky work of government to simple tasks. For instance, if you, for career progression, follow the provisions of the civil service rule. This is the number of years you must be before you can rise. These are the criteria. Let us know it. If you know it, I know it, there will be no fight. But when you know it, you will pretend you don't know it, or it is not fairly implemented. It creates problem. So what we have done so far is to ensure fairness in what we do. For instance, in the past 3 years, I've ensured that annual promotion are done. People that are eligible get promoted. We know that the vacancy is a critical issue. So where the vacancy is not there, some people may not be able to be promoted, even when they pass the exam. This is not peculiar to FCT. That is the requirement. Number two, we have ensured that staff salaries and emoluments are paid as and when due. For instance, the wage award that President gave, we are paid the 4 months of September to December in FCT administration. We are not owing. We attend to other matters. We also work hard to ensure, because you cannot do all this thing when the funding is not there. You cannot just do it. Under my watch, we grew the IGR, internally generated revenue of FCT, from 85 billion when I came in 2020 to 151 billion in 2023 by November. This were achieved not by my effort alone, but by the support of the principals, by initiative of the principals, and the support of the staff. So looking back over these 3 years, I said, to God be the glory.
I watched with the issue of this and abuse of office, scandal and what have you. I know it have a lot of political coloration. As a human being, I know that you'll be wondering, how did this thing come about? How do you feel within that period, sir?
It is part of the responsibility of leadership. And when you are in the public office, you must be ready for such. If you don't want such to happen, go back home. But the reality is, you must be convincing you that you are doing the right thing. Yes. The critical issues are not even relating to many of the issues raised, but rather, maybe some people felt what they could not get what they wanted to get. Doing things the right way may not really be the hallmark for some people. There are ways they want things to be done. And you feel, no, this is how unknowingly your choice of actions could impair the liberty some people want to enjoy. And they feel the only way they can get back at you is through such propaganda. Look at some of the issues raised. They said the permanent secretary is tyrannical. And a tyranny is somebody that nobody can reach, who oppresses others. Those that work with me, the colleagues, I doubt if they will ever agree with such. Number two, they said I flooded the place with employment of over 10,000 within 3 years. When I came in, the staff strength was 32,000 plus. As at that August, September, the payroll had only 32,000 plus. So you ask the question, where are the 10,000? So it is not really there. They said when the minister was not around, I engaged in contract awards spree. Contract could only be awarded by the tenders, but when the minister is around, once the minister is not there, nobody will approve the award of contract. You cannot award. So where is the award really is? So the poster only reflects the level of ignorance of the people of government, but only show their penchant for falsehood and to distort mischief. Yes, mischief. As a leader, as the head of the administration, what we know is that we are focused in what we are doing and we remain committed to the process. That is it. I remember there was a time they say some contractor said they were not paid and that they want to go and protest. What I simply told them is they should find out in other MDAs if payment is being made as much as FCT is making. FCT continues to honor its obligation, but remember, FCT is like a workshop. You must make the money to expend the money. So that's why rather than focusing on expenditure, our focus has always been on how can we increase the internally generated revenue. And in this regard, I want to specifically acknowledge the effort of the current Minister of FCT, Ezenwo Nyesom Wike Esquire. From the first day he came in, his concern is how do we grow the IGR of FCT. He observed that people were not paying their ground rent. And now said, everybody go and pay your ground rent, otherwise we will revoke the land. When you go to centers for administration of land resources, you will see people coming voluntarily now to pay. And this is impacting positively on the IGR of FCT. As a result, contractors are back on site, people are happy now, employment is being provided. So I will enjoin everyone to support this effort of government to grow the IGR of FCT and to enable us develop the territory. Yes, you see, from the first day you join the service, you know the day you are going. So the opportunity of extending your stay does not even arise. But the issue is, for the development of the territory is a commitment. It's an obligation that the leadership have and they will continue to address. To develop the city, it is not a one-man affair. All hands must collectively come on board. As taxpayers, we need to pay our taxes. As staff of the territory, of the administration, we need to support the administration to succeed. And as administrators, minister of state, we must drive policies that are inclusive and that will promote the development of the territory. This is one thing that we want to see that the administration continue to do. There will be criticism. Criticism is part of governance. If you are not criticized, it might even mean that you are not doing the right thing. Because when you are doing the right thing will infringe on the liberties of some people. They will complain, but the intent is to satisfy the majority of the people. I think that's the focus that we have here. So my successor should carry on. Should remain focused on development of the city. Permanent secretaries are likely to support the administration of the minister of state, the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. When our political bosses come, they come with their agenda. This is what we want to achieve. Remember, they come to achieve to make some impact within a defined period of time. It is our obligation to ensure that they succeed. Because when they succeed, the success also rub on us. For instance, I mentioned to you, by November, the revenue of FCT grew to 151 billion. Not by my effort alone, but the commitment has been there to grow the revenue of FCT. So we must all work together with our superior in symphony to ensure that we achieve the objective of government. There is a beauty that governments have introduced into governance in order to promote good governance. For instance, we have the ministerial deliverables. That is, they are statement of what government wants to achieve within a defined period of time. As permanent secretary, we must work hard to ensure that these are achieved. And how do we ensure this? For instance, when the budgets are being prepared, we remind our superior, we need to provide funds for this activity because it's part of the mandate to which you commit. Because when you don't provide the funding, you will not be able to achieve it. So we have to continue to provide that support, administrative support, to the system to ensure that the dividend of good governance and the mandate of the government are delivered to the citizen. No, they cannot cry in this instance because they know that I am going. Since they were working with me, they knew that I would lead them in service. And so they prepared. And what we only did is to ensure that through mentoring, they've seen how things are done. They've worked with us. Wonderful people, very committed, very dedicated, and hardworking. I believe that all of them will carry the hard work, the culture of the hard work, into wherever they find themselves, and they will always excel. I did not just become who I am because I came down by myself. I was mentored. I remember one of my former permanent secretary, Alhaji Bukagone Aji, who retired as former head of service. He calls me on Saturday, on Sunday to come and deliver assignment. When he gives you assignment, you have to meet up with the time. So once we are to deliver on an assignment for him, Monday is when we do it. On Sunday, he will call you, bring the assignment. So you work hard to achieve it. In the same way, this is how we have been working. So they are all prepared. They know that I've been living before them. Interestingly, quite a number of them will be living within the year too, within the year. But the difference is that, unlike the mainstream service where we came, some of these people, we came from the mainstream service, and we have to go back to they will have to go back to the mainstream service. Whereas if we have been in the mainstream, they will have stayed put where they are without any shaking. But by the grace of God, I know anywhere they are, they'll be sought after because they know they were well trained and mentored. To participate actively in the politics of the state, time will tell. You need to, as administrator, it's a different path from that of active politician, and it's a lot of transformation that you require. Interestingly, quite a number of my colleagues have ventured into it. Some have been successful. We have quite a number of us in the National Assembly, and in that place they are appreciated in the effort, in the support they are giving to the society. Let us finish what we started first. Then we will review the situation and we decide on what to do. But in the immediate, I have some ongoing initiatives that I have not completed. I want to complete my PhD program. I want to write some books when I finish. As I'm working through this, the inspiration of what next to do will also emerge. No, I don't relax through working. I relax with my family. I play badminton. I was privileged when I served in youth and sport. It exposed me to a lot of the sporting events. So I play games. I do exercise, and I love. Of course, I love reading. That's probably why I want to probably take on do some write-up for myself when I finish. By the time I finish it, I believe the audience there will still be some that will listen and want to read the books, the works, in order to document some of their accomplishments. There must be an end to a particular phase, and that is what we are doing. Because if I stay put here, others will not be able to grow. It will be a disadvantage to them. Who says others cannot even do better than you are? So that's why the system has designed it in such a way that at a point you will leave, let others also come in and play their part. We have come, we have seen, we have conquered, and to God be the glory.
This is where we'll be wrapping it up for today. We're ending today's interview segment here and now. I hope you had a very wonderful time, because I did, and I hope you were very much enlightened. Please do well to like our video, share our video, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. The handle is down below your screen. Till I see you next time, stay safe.